so cool. Today we are reacting to Monsters, the new OVA from Netflix by, you know him, you love him, Eichiro Oda. Monsters is a short story that was published in 1998 featuring Ryuma. The character is the same, but the story is not canon from doing a bit of research before the episode. However, we are both extremely excited to see this special. We read Wanted, all of the short stories in that volume a long time ago, I guess about a year ago.
Year and a half.
I remember most of the story, but it's not like fresh in my memory.
Yeah. I mean, I am just excited. I think that we've talked about this off camera, but obviously One Piece fans are eating.
Yes.
Like to the point where it's like, when you're like feeling full, you're like, oh, I couldn't do anymore. But then like dessert comes.
Yep. Dessert comes.
And you're like, I can do it. Like, yes. I can do it. And it's not. Room. I have room, though, for sure.
I always have room.
For sure. We'll always have room for more One Piece. So
yes,
this is a treat, a dessert, if you will.
And if you haven't read Wanted, I think it's so fun. I think every story offers something a little different. They're not connected, but they're just, again, so much fun. My personal favorite is God's Gift for the Future.
Yes, agree.
Absolutely incredible story. But like I said, very excited to just jump right in today. So let's just get right to it and begin our reaction of this OVA special, Monsters. Remember, if you want to see the full uncut, unedited, uncensored versions of these reactions, all you got to do is become a Patreon member. We're going to patreon.com/volume1pod. You can even try it out for free for the first 7 days to see if it's right for you. Now, on to the reaction. That sounds like Zoro.
Sounds like Zoro. Yeah. Ooh, I like the different vibes.
Me too. Holy shit, that's a fat cat.
Bro, Chonk Master. Level 6,000.
There he is.
Stop giving that food to the cat.
yeah. Stop feeding the neighborhood cat.
Yeah.
This fool. The animation feels very soft. The art style feels very soft. Damn, dude.
Oh, shit.
I hate this fool. And clearly, that was fuck. Don't do that shit. Don't be disrespectful. Damn. Clearly, in design alone, is he sort of like the inspiration of like Mihawk, not in his character?
I think I heard that somewhere.
Yeah. But he gives me like Gaston vibes. That was
no, it's like the Three Musketeers, you know?
Right. But I still feel I'm getting Gaston.
Oh.
And there was a triple chin on that cat.
Oh. I want that cat. Bro, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's like in the fantasy world, it's like natural disasters exist, and like dragons are just like a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Like one day you could just get attacked.
Bro, like your whole village.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because, like, you know, the same can happen from a natural disaster.
No, that's what I mean. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
誰一人近づくこともできなかった大火の中に一人踏み込みドラゴンと戦い町の人たちを助けようと
He's
した
like,
んだ
I don't
Boring.
give a fuck, dude. I'm hungry still.
燃える山に囲まれたあの町で二人の生存者は奇跡だった。その時助けられた町でただ一人の生き残りが彼女というわけさ。はあ？白野さんは剣士たちの鏡だ。剣の力は剣王キングに続くと言われてる。
キングか。世界一強いって評判だからな。きっと立派な強者の心を持ってるんだろうな。俺はそいつと一度戦ってみたいと思ってんだ。
なかなか人前に現れないらしいからな。けどなんだいその強者の心って。
腹も溜まって足取りも軽い。偉いなあいつは。町でただ一人の生き残りなのに過去を感じない。きっとあの白野ってやつが心の糧になってんだろうな。待って貴様。
話したまえ。私が一体何をしたと。ちくしょう、なんで俺が刺されなきゃならないんだ。汚ねえ野郎だ。いきなり刺し上げ
Bro,
る。
he's just trying to live his life.
だがこいつは絶対に渡さんぞ。何を。竜の角笛は渡さねえ。
What a fucking loser.
竜の角笛って。
10年前に
Run.
ドラゴンを操ることができるっていうの。あいつ増えたぞ。竜の角笛を。本物だ。
なんでおしまいなんだよ。何が起こったんだ。ドッキリ。
I mean, yeah, I would think the same thing. Like, is someone fucking pranking me?
Where's Ashton Kutcher?
Bro, come on now.
何しやがんだ。
こういうやつだって分かってれば飢え死にしてればよかったのよ。人殺し。
人殺しとはなんだ。人殺しとは。
本当のドラゴンの恐ろしさを知らないから。
なんだか知らねえけどな。さっぱり筋の通らねえ話だぞ。だから取る気ねえっつってんだろ。
この角笛は本物だ。あの時盗まれた竜の角笛だ。この笛の警備についていて殺された兵士は全て私の部下たちだった。なぜ私があの場にいなかったのかと考えるとやりきれなくなる。彼を責めてもドラゴンは必ずここに現れるだろう。私に戦わせてくれないか、ドラゴンと。
本当ですか、白野さん。みんな待って。無茶よそんなの。ドラゴンに勝った人間なんて聞いたことがないもの。人とドラゴンなんて勝ち負け以前の問題じゃない。次元が違うのよ。
こういう事態になることは10年前から予期できた。これを接せねばと。
I mean, everyone should still be running though, like
Yeah.
on its way.
できなかった。今の私にあるのは意味のない武功と一流とは名ばかりの称号のみ。
And the hollow title of Master Swordsman.
けじめをつけてい
What a
た
bitch.
一介の剣士として。
かっこいいかっこいい。でも7年前の大奇襲と違ってこの町の人間は逃げりゃ助かるんだぜ。て
Yeah.
めえは建物のために命を落とす気か。
Sick ass line.
貴様のせいでこうなったのに勝手なこと言ってんじゃねえ。てめえら言わ
I
せ
mean,
ておけ。
I understand it's their homes, their businesses, and all that, but they have a head start.
誰がするか。
次期ドラゴンが現れる。全力を尽くすがこの町を守りきる保証はない。私が負けた時は許してくれ。
みんなもう逃げてったぞ。大奇襲の生き残りなんだってな。そんなに怖えのかよ、ドラゴンってのは。おい、どうしたんだ。
やっぱり無謀すぎる。ドラゴンと人なんて戦いにならないわよ。
ヒゲ太郎を止めに行くんだろ。無駄だと思うぜ。
白野さんはこの町のために死ぬ気なのよ。あんたみたいな低俗な人間をかばって一人で全部背負い込んで。
Whoa!
そのまま振り返らずにこの町を出るんだ。よせ、見るな。
Oh, see, oh. He's trying to protect her from seeing that.
それにさっきの
Damn.
全力を尽くすが
Fucking loser.
It was all a scam.
暴れすぎてかけてやる言葉も見つからねえ。
あの侍笑っちまうぜ。お前の言う通り再果てしたらよ。待ってだと。おかげでまた7年前の街のようにありったけいただいて。
Bro, who is this goofball broccoli head looking motherfucker right here?
いや、今度の分だと25年は遊んで暮らせるぜ。この町に7年前のガキがいやがってよ。あいつのおかげで今や俺は剣士の鏡だからな。
あん時の俺らじゃ芝居してもリアリティが足りなかったろうからな。逃げるんだ。燃やしちまえ。
Oh god. I don't know if he got a glow up or a glow down
No.
or he's just
Yeah,
some
no.
kind of-
Glow. I don't. Yeah. Glow down.
この奇襲事件はすべて謎に消えちまうんだから。
bitch.
助けて。パパとママが家の下敷きに。お願い助けて。
フレア、人を呼んできてくれたのか。あんた手を貸してもらえるか。
Oh
お
my
前
god.
宝持って先に引き上げろ。せっかく町一つ潰したんだ。金もがっぽり手に入れたことだしな。ついでに名誉もいただこうかと。
信じてた人間が自分の町を潰して親も殺して
I love when like
They're literally like-
villains have this conversation
I know.
with the person right around the corner.
I know.
Imagine if she was around the corner right now listening to all of this.
すまない。助けてやれなかった。
ひどいこと言っちゃったね。人殺しなんて。
Mhm.
あんまり落ち込んでねえの。
落ち込んだってあいつらが面白がるだけじゃない。ここでくよくよしてるくらいならとっくに命を絶ってたわよ。あんたも逃げた方がいいわ。どっちにしろドラゴンは来るのよ。いい旅を祈っているわ。
Damn. Wow. Wow. This shit is
The
hitting.
music is really good.
Fuck his ass up.
やっと来たみたいだな、ドラゴンが。
大体平気でさや当てするようなやつなんざ。まっとうなつわものの心がねえ。証拠だぜ。
そうですそうです。お察しの通りです。私実は悪者なんです。世のため人の
Yeah, I would have never guessed you were a bad guy from how you fucking looked.
大奇襲は私どもがやりました。10年前に私の部下を皆殺しにして竜の角笛を奪ったのも私たちです。やったー。儲ける儲ける。悪党はやめられねえよ。
クズが。
Whoa! Oh! Oh! Fuck! That was crazy. Okay, do him! Get him!
こんなバカなことが。なんでシラノが負けるんだ。なんで
Because he's a bitch.
シラノだぞあいつは。なんで負けるんだ。何しやがったんだてめえ。さっき壊した角笛はよ、偽物なんだ。本物はここにある。だから俺を殺せば完全にこの街は。
Yapper.
よそ者だ。
Now that's a fucking dragon right there, dude. Oh, fuck.
シノ。この町と一緒に。あいつ。
Oh, yes. Fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, this goes hard. Damn. I wanted that to be a little
Oh.
longer. I have to admit.
Same. That fat cat's gonna feast good.
eat the whole damn dragon. It looks like he already had a couple dragons in his day.
For real.
死のうなんて考えるな。楽しくないらしいぞ。
I hear it's no fun. Oh shit, that's
そん
kind
な
of
に
cool.
強いのにリュウマなんて聞いたことないわ。
言ったろ、飯のご恩は命に変えても必ず返すって。また飯でも食いに来るから。
Yeah, a real hero that you actually got to see take that fool out.
本当にこれあの侍が？
リューマドキング
Wow.
助けられたみんなが
Oh, that's such a cool reveal.
知らないだろうけど
キング？
あ世界一のつわもの
Oh, I forgot about that part. I mean, obviously I knew
剣士だ
Ryuma, but... Oh, that's so cool. Whoa. Yo.
心身ともにあってこその剣士だ。お前が生きた時代に会いたかったよ。刀はもらうが、勝負はなかったことにしようぜ。和の国の侍。
Wow, that gave me fucking chills. Holy shit, dude. That was so good. I had as we were watching it, like just a couple like, you know, critiques, mainly that I wished the fight with the dragon was a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
that last scene made up for everything. It made up for everything. That was so unexpected. That was so sick. It seemed like, I mean, okay, so before we recorded this episode, we wanted to make sure. So we looked up, like, Ryuma is obviously a character from One Piece. Obviously, we all know that. But, like, the story didn't seem connected, right? Like, it wasn't a part of the One Piece canon. But that scene at the end seemed to, like, make it canon. Holy shit, that's so sick. Megan, what are some of your thoughts just about the OVA?
I mean, yeah, I really liked it. Again, we hadn't read it probably like a year. We read it like a year and a half ago,
Right.
only
Yeah.
once, so it was kind of like fresh in a way. So there was things that I didn't remember happening.
Right.
And I was trying to like see where everything connected. And obviously the reveal towards the end as these are like bad guys. I knew something was up. Again, I hadn't read it in a long time, only read it once. But it was cool to relive it and to feel that betrayal again. Oda loves a good betrayal. Oda loves a heroine's, you know, tragic backstory. And I loved it. I loved the music. And
The animation was fire too. You know, I saw a couple people online talking about the animation from just like the clip, saying that, you know, it didn't look good, but it was incredible. I thought it was awesome. The direction was incredible. The animation was incredible. It was the studio behind it is a newer studio called E&H Productions. Apparently the director is Sung Koo Park, who directed like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, Jujutsu Kaisen 0, and The God of High School. And this is his new studio. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely cool to see something like newer. Like it was definitely fresh.
It definitely, I loved, again, it felt like, you know, soft. It felt very fluid. I thought the action was great. And that's the only thing, because I did remember, you know, it wasn't that long ago that we had read it. So I did remember the betrayal, but seeing it obviously animated with the music behind it, like it does hit harder.
Yeah.
My literal only like critique, it's like the smallest nitpick, but I felt like, you know, once we found out about the betrayal, and I'm very curious to know if you've never read the short story, like how you felt about it, like going into this blind, like did you already kind of know or feel like this person was essentially a fraud? Because I felt like, yeah, which is funny. I want to get into that because of the, you know, Mihawk comparison. But once we did find out, even within the special, it felt like the majority of the runtime was spent on just like the character dealing with that betrayal.
Yeah, but I mean,
and then rubbing salt in that wound.
Yeah. I mean, it was, again, it was written in 98.
No, for sure.
And I think that the main message of the story was portrayed. The main message wasn't just slaying a dragon.
No, for sure.
So I didn't mind it necessarily. It was kind of like this huge build up to a kind of like anticlimactic ending.
Fight at the end.
Yeah, fight at the end.
Yeah.
Fight in the sense that it wasn't even a fucking fight. He took that fool out
Right.
pretty much immediately, and the other fool. But you thought it was gonna, shine again, and it did for its own reasons. But like I thought it was gonna be a little longer the dragon fight, because the other fights were so anticlimactic, and it was to prove how much better he is.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, the purpose that it does serve, that that makes it good, is to show you how powerful Ryuma is.
Yeah, and I like how someone can be powerful. He's a villain. He's like, oh, I'm making money. Everyone knows that I'm I'm not a fraud in that sense, but my like heart isn't in the right place.
Right.
And Ryuma's heart is like of a warrior, of a swordsman.
He has honor. Yeah.
So combine that with like actually being talented, that's what's gonna shine. And that's what we saw at the end with Zoro and him. It was a passing of the torch, passing of the sword. Because Zoro is that. Zoro embodies the same values as he does. And I think that is the reason why he was able to wield it, and how he's able to be secondhand man to Luffy. And I mean, everything involved. I think that was so like meaningful in that moment, because Zoro is that guy. Like, I love how they're different in many ways. Ryu was definitely more of an excitable guy.
Yes.
Than Zoro, the stoic, swordsman. But yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, they do and are two very different characters, but that carry those same values. I would watch a whole series, honestly, about Ryuma and his life. I absolutely loved it. I get it's a one shot, an OVA, and it probably should stay that way. I don't think that they should expand on it, but if they did, I'd watch it.
That they are going to expand maybe on Monster or Wanted.
That would be sick.
It would make sense. If this performs well, which, I mean, it's One Piece, let's be honest, it's going to perform well. They're going to do probably all of the Wanted stories. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't have a dragon in it. Doesn't have Ryuma in it. Doesn't have a swordsman in it.
Well, because this is the only story that has any sort of connection to One Piece.
I'm thinking about Romance Dawn.
Well, I think Romance Dawn, I think you're right. I think that was in Wanted too.
With the like...
But they've already they already animated that.
I know. But I'm thinking like, what else? And that's the only one that's like, well, does it have a guy that's kind of like Zoro? No, our guy kind of looks like Mihawk. Like, no, this guy's just about like God, and like, oh no, we don't have to do that.
That's the best one.
But that is the best one. That would be so awesome to see animated. But yeah, I'm happy that this was made. It's in no way a smear on the One Piece legacy, I guess. Like, people have been talking about, people have been saying it.
People have been having the wildest takes with this OVA.
They have. And honestly, again, my expectations are always super high when it comes to anything One Piece, like the live action, because I just know, or like the anime, like the manga, because Oda is just that guy, so I have high expectations of him.
Absolutely.
I just do. And that's a respectable thing, and not a thing that'll deter me from enjoying his work. It is just,
that's how much you respect him.
Yes.
And how much he has proven himself to be a master of his craft.
Yes. So when something like this comes out, and it was a conversation of, okay, well, wow, like, I think that, One Piece is, it's selling out, Oda's selling out, One Piece is so like more popular. And, you're always going to have those purists, but it's something that Oda had done a while ago, something that has already been written. This is just to commemorate that for him.
And I would celebrate his previous work.
Exactly. But
while still tying it to the work of his that is the most successful.
But then again, like we said, within the Wanted short stories, this wasn't necessarily my favorite.
For sure.
So watching it was really cool. I really enjoyed it, but it's not going to be something that I would necessarily like rave about because it wasn't necessarily like my favorite to begin with.
Right.
And that's not a deterrent for anyone else to enjoy it. But that's just how I feel. And yeah, that's not a diss. It's just
the story isn't like the most complex story, but it is a very meaningful story. And what I love about it is Ryuma. Like Ryuma is the highlight of this story, and I really did feel like the anime did a great job of like fleshing out his character and really bringing his character to life.
Yeah, I loved his. I think you have it pulled up here. His VA. Which Yoshimasa Hosoya. And he's done a bunch of things. I think he was a Reiner in AOT. I think I saw he's Tokoyama, I believe his name is, in Tokoyami. Sorry, in My Hero, Bird Guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a fabulous job. I love the voice acting, and even the voice acting from the villains was really making me laugh because they're so like and they're so just like brats. They're so bratty. And yeah, I think everyone's performance, it was just like a short, concise, from beginning to end, flushed out, just an enjoyable watch.
I think it was very, no pun intended, special. I think it was a very special. And again, like I love Oda's writing. I'm just a fan of his storytelling. And the moment with Ryuma in the town, like once everybody had left, when after everything that fucking fool had put him through, he was desperately trying to like shield the girl from seeing him, loot this town.
Yeah, I love that. I think that I don't know if necessarily he would have stepped in. But if she wasn't like there to see what she saw, because obviously he saw how devastated she was, he knew she was devastated. But then she like kind of went in the back to like really feel.
She was trying to keep it.
Yeah, because I mean she knew at that point like, well, the dragon's gonna come anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Like, fuck it.
It's like there's nothing you can do because I don't know, they just thought he was like a joke, I guess.
Yeah.
But
something about its essence, something about like the moment itself, like the moments are different, but something about the way that they hit me, like the moment with Shanks and the mountain bandits when he, at the very beginning of One Piece, when he grabs the mop and he starts like cleaning up the drinks that they knocked over and stuff, like something about that like moment and this moment with Ryuma, like I get the same feeling. Like it's one moment, but it does such a good job of like telling you exactly who this character is and what they're all about, like what they like stand for, like just in that one like powerful moment.
Well, yeah, and I think another like takeaway from the short story too, it's like when she was crying about the situation, like just bawling because it was so insane that like people are capable of that.
Yeah.
Like she's feeding someone who has no money because they're hungry. Like she's just giving someone kindness, and then literally there's another person that killed a whole like not a whole town because the dragon did some work too, but like it's just like the I guess the duality of man. It's just so crazy, and I think especially with the Shanks moment, I mean that's just like Oda's so he does such a good job at showing like the complexities of like human beings and how different a human being how they can choose to be, how they can choose to live,
and kind of like what real strength is. Like it's not about whether you're able to slay a dragon or not, or even about Shanks being able to take out all those guys like in the blink of an eye.
Well, that's what
like,
I mean. Same thing with Ryuma.
Exactly.
He didn't have to. Oh, haha! You hit my sword. Ah, haha! Like don't worry about it, bro. He just literally he only stopped because she told him to stop.
Yes.
If she didn't step in, he probably would have been toast because he said it's to the death. We're doing this to the death, and like I can easily take you out.
Yeah.
But also a thing that is in Oda's storytelling is like underestimation of someone's ability.
Right.
So that fool was like, what, like you want to go, like and then he was like, okay, like dead, like out. So that was also cool to see because if he knew who he was, he'd probably think twice before
Oh, absolutely.
doing what he was doing.
Absolutely.
But that's why I kind of like Ryuma, because he has this, it's like Luffy in a way. He has this crazy title, and if you didn't meet him, you'd be like, what the heck is this guy doing?
That's what I'm a sucker for.
And then you meet him and you're like, oh.
Like, the king, excuse me?
And that's how everyone is.
Yeah.
Because they, it's title versus how they actually are in real life. Like, it's like Buggy. And the people that are just like raising up with this crazy title.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I just wanted to touch on, because again, like, people have been having some crazy takes to me, in my opinion, about this series, and the internet will always be the internet, whatever. But something that I do think is a little funny, because you said it during the episode, the character design for the fraud of this series is very like Three Musketeers, or just a musketeer in general, right? But also, I think Oda has been on record saying that this character was sort of like an inspiration for Mihawk in like character design. And because, there's that whole agenda in One Piece of like Mihawk being a fraud already. Now I feel like this is given this is like added fuel to that fire. But let me just say, Mihawk ain't no fraud, bro. It's funny, and I'll laugh and I'll giggle when I see people talk about it online, but it just ain't real. Like,
no.
Mihawk is that guy.
I could see the inspiration, but
it's in character design.
No, barely though.
Barely. It's just that musketeer aesthetic.
That's it.
Yeah.
This guy is not sexy. This guy's not hot. Like, he's nowhere near Mihawk. It's a fucking disgrace to call him similar, because they're not similar at all.
Yeah.
This feels more like Captain Hook.
Yeah, Captain Hook. Again, I get like Captain Hook meets Gaston. That's what I'm getting.
No, Gaston.
Really?
No. Gaston was a different type of evil.
But you also.
No. He was a
different kind of evil.
No,
you got a little excited.
No, I am not Team Gaston. I am not Team Gaston. But yeah, and then the fucking what the fuck? Who is that fucking? What he had doctor? He had a DR on his fucking face.
Fucking look at like a Dragon Ball Z character.
No, he looked like what he looked like? That fool from ReZero.
Oh yeah.
That evil fool.
Yeah. The guy he had like a cloak on and some shit. Like,
he had like the face paint.
In the woods. Yeah.
I had flashbacks right now to like how much that was.
I liked ReZero.
It was just like again.
Let's
do it again. Let's do it one more time.
I was like,
ah!
I thought it was sick.
It has its moments, but yeah, that it's just like a classic evil villain
for sure.
Hero that comes in and saves the day but doesn't need credit.
Yeah.
Doesn't need riches, he just wants a meal.
Yeah.
And that's
simple
it. Simple man. But yeah, I mean, obviously the ending was unexpected.
Dude.
That was really cool, and that made it all worth it. The whole thing. That was really cool to see him on the roof, and immediately before we saw that scene, he's talking to the girl again, and he goes like, yeah, like you mentioned, like, yeah, it's no fun. They said it's no fun being dead, like, so I've heard.
Line.
And then we cut to him like being dead, and dropping the sword in, for Zoro to catch it, and seeing, pre-time skate Zoro again, was so fun. And I was like, dang, I miss him like that.
The symbolism of that moment was so powerful, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was so like kind of like out of nowhere. I did not expect it. And I was just like ear to ear. It was so sick. Oh my god! Again,
I loved it.
I don't want to say like it made it either, because the special, again, like small little criticism and nitpicks aside, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was, like we've said a million times.
It's a treat.
It's a treat, dude. It's a dessert. It's a cherry on top. But it's also, I really had a great time. It was so much fun. But that scene like took it to a whole new fucking level, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, again, to, say, like, we know Ryuma from the land of Wano.
Yes.
And it was so cool to see that after had just gone, through Wano, and now Wano is gone.
Yeah.
And to think about everything that we saw and learned from the people of Wano, it was just nice. I mean, the Wano peeps are some of my favorite. You know, the people of Wano, some of people that hold it down. They fucking hold it down.
Yeah, Kawamatsu, Ken, it's a good group over there.
It's a great group.
Shinobu,
so I was like,
good group.
they got another one. They got another one. So yeah, that was really cool. But again, you know, it really was like a fucking after credit scene in some like Marvel shit. Like I hadn't felt like that in like, you know, since fucking
that shit was like
2014, bro. I
like Thanos putting on the gauntlet or getting a stone, Infinity Stone.
For real, it really was. It was that level. Like, oh man, that made me sad. I remember when those used to be really fun.
Yeah.
That was like one of the highlights. Is like, what is it gonna be? I'm getting like teary eyed.
I'm telling you,
because it was like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Wow, it really got you.
Because it was just a better time.
It's a better time for Marvel for sure.
I mean, I think in general.
As an audience member, as a
no,
moviegoer.
the world.
Oh well, I think you always look back on the past as like better times,
But I think that's actually true. I think that's actually true in this case. But I mean, the past we didn't have this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, overall, just a great time.
Super solid.
It's worth the watch.
Absolutely.
Definitely. If you're a One Piece fan, if you are a Zoro, Ryuma, person, this is a fun watch and just something different that is, it's not so One Piece. It's not so Straw Hats. It's its own thing. And again, don't, make your own assessment. Don't look online, don't let people deter you away from watching this or thinking anything different. Just go into it with an open mind. And I'm sure you'll have fun, just like any other episode of One Piece,
Yeah. And I just want to, encourage you if you haven't already. And I know a lot of people who are watching this have probably already read it, but like, if you just for some reason haven't read Wanted, super short, super easy.
Yeah, definitely. High recommend.
Really recommend it,
High recommend. Check out the one that we talked about, our favorite, Volume 1's favorite.
Yeah.
I forget the title of it.
You'll
know it. But yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
that's gonna do it.
It was fun. I hope they make more Wanted shorts.
I hope so too.
That would
really
be fucking lit. I know it's not really in connection to anything that is in One Piece, so maybe they won't. But I don't know. I think Oda.
I mean, I think you could at this point just slap Oda's name on anything and people would watch it. I mean, I obviously would.
Yeah, not to be meant as a diss. It's like, yeah, no, I'll
no, because because he doesn't just put his name on shit. Like he doesn't just do shit. The stuff that he does is really good, and he's worked really hard to like hone that craft.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on the special down below. If you read it, if you went in blind, just any and all thoughts and feelings from a story perspective, from that final scene. Like all of it. Let us know in the comments down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It matters. It helps us out so much. And again, if you'd like to see the full uncut, unedited, uncensored version of these reactions and all of the reactions we do, then you can do that and gain access to that by going to patreon.com/volume1pod to become a Patreon member, or click join somewhere next to the subscribe button to become a YouTube member. And you can even try out our Patreon for the first 7 days for absolutely free to see if it's right for you. And also, speaking of our Patreon members, we'd like to take a moment to shout out and thank some Patreon members of our V1P tier. So a big thank you to everybody, no matter how you show your support, but a special thank you to
Primordial Life, Wombo, Tyler Wallace, Paladin Berserker Jedi, David Ramirez, Rexy Dorado,
Tyler the Nerdy Bassist, Roland Vida, Black Sun Series, and Quattro. Yay. Thank you to all of our Patreon members. Thank you to anyone who shows support in any way. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today, Megan, is
Dragon. I hardly knew her.
I don't hate it. I've wanted this for a long time. Like wanted, like this like I've wanted to see this,
Monsters activate.
Oh my God. Monsters activate. You can blow my dragon horn. How about that? Ooh, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, don't feed that cat no more.
Stop feeding that cat.
Stop feeding that cat.
I like it. I like it. All right. Whew, that took us a while.
I
We got there.
know.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching. And until next time,
Stop feeding that cat. Stop feeding that cat.
Oh,
Stop feeding that cat.
oh, catch
Stop feeding that cat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Stop feeding that cat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Stop
I
feeding that
love
cat.
it. What the hell? This came out of nowhere.